Hey everyone, Miff here, and welcome back to my completionist playthrough of the Baldur's Gate saga with the SCS mod. So here we are directly um, before a pretty nasty fight, and I'm going to have a pretty specific strategy for it. Anyway, just to give a little bit of an overview, this is the last secret passage here, and it leads to a kind of a small kitchen, which then leads into the main room. And I think this way is the best approach to this room, because of this whole terrain layout. Like, this windy passage is just no good. It's too narrow. People can get stuck there. If you open this door, there's a little room here, and it just doesn't give you a lot of space to maneuver. I like this approach the best. Anyway, in that room, there's this high-level mage, Hareshan. She's a level 9, I think, enchantress, loaded up with spells like chaos and confusion and domination and whatnot, and of course having all of the pre-buffs. So she's very, very, very dangerous. And on top of that, she has plenty of Iron Throne guards in there. Some melee dudes, some archers, like these Black Talon elites are there. So yeah, that's a pretty tough group of enemies to deal with. So basically what we're going to do is first we're going to heal up Senashira, because she's going to be our main agent in that encounter. Oh wow, she's been wearing this cloak all this time. Nice one. Anyway, I was about to say that, you know, she's going to have a pretty decent armor class against these archers with the cloak, with the belt, and the shield spell. She's going to buff herself up with that greenstone amulet, which is going to make her immune to most of Hareshan's tricks, or pretty much all of her tricks. And she's going to go in there with this sword, Spider's Bane, which is going to make her immune to web. And I am going to throw a web in there. Oh, and of course, we also need to pre-buff Senashira with this last resist fire and cold, so she's going to be 90% fire resistant, and we can throw in, after the initial disabling cast of web, we can throw in some explosives in there to clear out most of these Iron Throne guys. And Senashira is going to be there, immune to everything, just doing some cleanup on these guards, and basically just drawing the attention of Hareshan. And after the initial cleanup is done, and we're going to see what the situation looks like, and we're possibly going to assist Senashira with some other guys, probably some ranged attackers. Alright, so here's a secret passage. Here's a like small kitchen with that cook that we're going to talk afterwards. And let's buff up Senashira, and let's throw in that web.
I am here.
Right, and make sure that Hareshan's pre-buffs trigger, so she's not webbed. Alright. Okay, we're good. Alright, so let's make sure, yeah, 90 fire resistance. We can use our last fireball here. Of course, there are 2 fireball charges left, but I don't want the wand to disappear as a result of spending all of the fireball charges. So this is essentially our last fireball, because this wand also has, you know, still 9 charges of Aghanazar's Scorcher. But let's throw in 1 fireball in there, and let's throw in 1 necklace of missiles to do a little cleanup. And as you can see, most of them got webbed, which is really nice, because Senashira needs to survive in there. Actually, maybe you can get rid of some of these mirror images. Yeah, chaos doesn't work on Senashira, of course. Alright, sweet juicy fireball in there. Now let's do 1 necklace of missiles. Okay, how's Senashira's health? It's fine. So yeah, they're either dead or near death, and I'm just going to kill these Black Talon elites if I can. And perhaps use a little bit of throwing daggers with Kiranai to just help clean up. Right, nothing's gonna work on Senashira, of course, because she has that awesome greenstone amulet. Yeah, I just don't want to draw Hareshan's attention, and I don't want to step in that web with anyone. So that's why I'm pretty cautious here with Kiranai. I would just like to... Are you in her vision? Yeah. Okay, nice. And now we're gonna get finished Up like that. Okay, this one is in her vision. Nice one. Sinashira can take care of this Black Talon lead guy. And she's just soaking spells of Harishan, of course. Who can do nothing to stop us. Okay, don't step into the web. I'm going to bring Kiran over. Kiran? That's a combination of Kivin and Koran, I guess. Alright, anyway, I think we can... She used her most powerful, I think, spells. So I think it is time to maybe bring Koran over and... Oh, okay, nice. Her minor globe ended, so now we can use some spells on her. I just don't want to get, like, you know, a big traffic jam in this thing, in this little passage here, so we don't get owned by some AoE spell that she might have still left. Alright, what could we do? We can definitely use some Holy Smite. We can use this Wand of the Heavens, and Imoen I think is going to stay back because she essentially just has magic missiles. I could use that Chromatic Orb, but you know, magic missiles are not going to work because she has shield. Alright, Koran, you can keep shooting. Oh, now she targeted Koran, I think, or Kiranai with a spell. Right, it's a slow spell. Not good. This Holy Smite, of course, has this little delay before it goes off, so we'll see how that works, if we can aim it properly. Right, it dealt some damage. We need Kiranai because she's not... You know what? We're going to pass over these boots to Kiranai, and she's going to attempt to poison Harishan with her Dagger of Venom. Alright, it worked. She is poisoned. She should have a lot of troubles trying to cast spells now. Alright. Koran, you know what? You can just switch to normal arrows now and just help us deal with these guards.
I am here.
Sinashira, by the way, was enfeebled, but I'm not sure if I want to use another potion on her. We need to just help her deal with some of these guards, and it should be fine. Alright, Kiranai... Oh yeah, she wanted to reapply mirror images, but the ticking poison, you know, makes it very, very hard for them to get a spell off. Alright, I think we're in the clear. We can send Jaheira in as well.
Certainly. By Temper Shield.
She can heal with potions. She's barely injured, apparently. But she's completely disabled with that poison, so it doesn't matter that she still lives. You can keep quaffing those potions. It's not gonna do you any good. Right, you know what? You can now switch to more effective weapons, and of course you're not wearing the amulet you're supposed to be wearing.
I am here.
It's a bit of a mess, how I played this encounter, but I think it worked out very, very nicely, because this can be such a nasty fight. She is such a nasty spellcaster. Not only is she level 9 with like chaos of all things, but she's also an enchantress on top of all that.
Yes?
Alright, Raven Feeblement now passed. Oh, we're actually not going to take these bandit scalps anymore, since we don't have a nice buyer for all those. So yeah, Koran, again, this is really not the best of times, you know, for that type of conversation, Koran. Yeah, Branwen is a warrior. She's a strong, independent woman who don't need no man, dude. Oh, Koran. Yeah, Tempest is still a dude. Anyway, just quickly checking these dudes. I think those were all of these Black Talon elites. Because of course I wanted their cool arrows. Okay, now Haray-shan has a very important spell for us. Haste! Finally! Finally haste. And another potion of explosions on top of all that. Nice. But of course haste is the most important thing. You need to identify that. Alright, so finally we're going to have access to haste, well, soon. I don't think I'm going to like learn any spells here in Cloakwood Mines. I think we're going to rest here, but I'm not going to do a scribing session. I don't think we're like the level 3 spells for a mage, especially in SCS in Baldur's Gate 1, are so stacked. We're going to use haste a little bit later. Anyway, let's loot some stuff. We can give Seneshira her boots back. I think there might be something in there. Nope. Anyway, this cook is pretty funny.
Bother and bother, never a calm spot.
She's very eager. So I think if you talk to her with a male...
Bother and bother, never a
No, she doesn't say anything else. Anyway, I think if you... it's either dependent on reaction or the... Probably if you talk to her with a male party member. Oh, actually I saved. Let's check that out. She has something different to say. Oh yeah. He's, maybe one of you handsome stags wants to shag me. I'm quite a fubsy, aren't I? Oh yeah. So Koran has something to say here too, with the NPC project. That's pretty funny. Exquisitely shapely legs. Anyway, the funny thing about her is that if you charm her, she has a different thing to say, and then she's going to pretty much suggest an orgy. She says something like, you know, like all of you can take me right now, or something like that. So, you know, we don't have our Algernon's cloak charge to demonstrate that, although I think I am going to rest here, because I think this is the time to thank Branwen for her services and to switch her for Yeslik. I wanted to keep her for this encounter still, because, you know, she had some spells, and when we recruit Yeslik, he's not going to have anything memorized, so that's why we will have to rest with him. Anyway, let's just take a look at what she managed to achieve in her time with us. Of course, she managed to take revenge on Tranzig, but other than that, you know, she wasn't very proficient at killing, but that was not her job. She was very useful with her spells, of course. And I really like the character, but I like Yeslik even more, and it usually works out in my playthroughs like that. I have Branwen for a long time, for a large part of the game, and then we just finish up with Yeslik once we have access to him. So of course we're going to drop all that she's carrying on the ground. She can probably keep these like basic slings. Or one sling, I guess. Alright, so thank you, Branwen.
What is your command?
And she's going to just get out of here on her own. She's going to go back to the friendly Armin. That's not the right way, though, Branwen. Anyway, let's talk with Yeslik now.
Aye, who's there now? More smithing? Or did ye burrow into another river?
He's an awesome dude. So he introduces himself, and now he's going to give us a bit of an exposition of what happened here, and I am going to read some of it. Yeah, like, we've much to overcome. That you have, and now would know better. None would know better than I. This is my mine that the blasted Iron Throne has stolen. Well, they were my clan's home 125 years ago. Curse me for a fool, I trusted them. Years ago that blasted Realtar gave me a good trade smithing for the throne, and then I go and tell him about my old home, about how my clan had the richest iron mine on any coast, and how almost all were killed when we breached a riverbank. Lost most my kin in that flood. Those of us that survived couldn't bear to go back down. It was a giant watery tomb, and we left it the way she stood. So I go and tell this to my friend Realtar, and he has me chained up. He tortures the location out of me, and now this graveyard feeds the Iron Throne as they bleed the coast dry. If you want to cripple their plans, help me flood this accursed mine once more. They plugged the breach, but knowing hands can loose the flow. Yeah, we can drown these black-hearted rats in the very mine they've stolen. Here be the way. So yeah, that's kind of why this, this flooding the mine is also kind of like a good thing, I guess, to do. Because, you know, it's kind of what's supposed to just remain a watery tomb, I guess. According to the dwarves that lived here once. Anyway, let's check out Yeslik. So, he's going to level up, of course, with the TOB style NPCs. He's not going to be a level 6 cleric as Branwen was, and he's generally going to be the lowest amount of experience that we have in our party, so he's going to have to catch up later. But anyway, he's a really cool character. He's a dwarf with 17 constitution, so he gets some like really good saving throws to a couple of his saves. Then, of course, he has like a standard 15 strength. That means that he can wear full plate armor without any buffs to his strength. His dexterity, of course, is kind of like this one weakness of his, but we are going to use the gloves of dexterity on him to set his dexterity to 18. His constitution is nice, his wisdom is nice, and he's a fighter cleric multiclass, so it means that he's going to be more effective in battle. He's not going to be stuck with just one attack per round. And basically with SCS, they give him the option to use axes, but and you know, that's why I was carrying that battle axe that I bought in Feldepost Inn. But you know what, I don't think I kind of wanted to, you know, use this special thing about him that he is kind of, as a dwarf, I guess, supposed to be able to use axes even as a cleric. But I think I'm not going to go with axes. To come to think about it, I think I'm going to go with Morning Stars and Flails, the same way Branwen was supposed to do, I think, because basically he has Warhammers, as you can see, but you know, Senashira is our Warhammer lady, so he is going to get that Warhammer +1 for now, but I'm going to start leveling him up in Flails, I think, because the difference between Battle Axes and Flails in his case is going to be that you know, we both have Morning Stars +1, and we have this Battle Axe +1, which is essentially the same thing, but you know, Morning Stars deal crushing damage, which is a little better. And also, when it comes to +2 variants of these weapons, both the Flail +2 and the Battle Axe +2 are available once we unlock Baldur's Gate City at pretty much the same time, so it doesn't really matter in that regard as well. Because, you know, the Enhanced Edition actually introduces a Flail +2 that you can buy in Baldur's Gate City. So I think that's what we're going to go with for him at some point. Anyway, let's level him up. So he gets better saves, he gets that 1 proficiency point, and, you know, hit, and as you can see, you can go with axes with him, but you know what, I think I'm going to go with Flails and Morning Stars. That's going to end up a little better, I think. Alright, so let's change him to our liking. Oh yeah, of course we need to change his script to none. And now we need to pick up all this stuff. Alright, since he can actually wear the normal full plate, he's going to get that. Let's just quickly equip him. Actually, not this one. Senashira is going to use a normal Warhammer for now as an offhand, and he's going to get that +1. Although probably he's mostly going to use the sling for now. Oh, and also one thing I forgot to mention, of course, his intelligence is his weakness, because that means 7 intelligence means that he cannot use wands. So that's why I gave that to Jaheira. As you can see, it's red. He can't use that wand. So that's a bit of a weakness on his part there. Anyway, he's a little encumbered. that should be fine. Okay, so now we have Yeslik, and... oh yeah. Koran, you're awfully chatty this episode. I don't like any of these responses. Right, he's a cool character, you know, very positive, kind of happy-go-lucky guy. Anyway, I wanted to tell something else about... oh yeah, not tell. I wanted to do something with Yeslik. He's now going to pretty much become our best, well, a very good tank, as Jaheira is. So, they're more like on par now. I might make him like my main tank, kind of. I don't know. We'll see. Jaheira still has better HP. And it all, of course, all depends. Like Jaheira's, you know, because of that club, she can be easily immune to electricity damage. Depends on, of course, which belt we're wearing and all that. Anyway. Oh yeah. And of course the spells. As you can see, he has nothing memorized. I think I'm going to go with this for a specific fight a little bit later. Now here we need, I think, 2 silences. Let's go with that, or maybe 2 chants. Chant is just so versatile. Maybe 1 hold person and 2 silence. You know, I don't know. Most mages nowadays have minor globe of invulnerability, so I think hold person is a little bit more versatile. And here we can have not bless. Jaheira is going to have bless. We're going to have 2 remove fears, 1 sanctuary. I don't know, maybe, yeah, 2 commands. Alright, so we need to attempt to rest here, which is something that I'm not looking forward to, because we can get easily ambushed here. Oh, this is a really funny one between Yeslik and Imoen, so I'm just going to click through, of course, so that you can pause, but this is a pretty good one. Yeslik is just such a cool character. He's supposed to be like a really old dwarf, I guess. So he assumes kind of like a fatherly or grandfatherly role in this party. And the dwarven bedtime stories, or just stories in general, are very heavy on the titles, I guess, of different characters. This is pretty funny. And Imoen dozed off. Alright, we did manage to successfully rest. And you know what? I'm not going to rest again, I think, for the heals. What I am going to do is I'm going to use my potions of regeneration, I think, just to keep healing Senashira. And Kira and I, we can just heal a little bit with our spells. And we're going to need 1 heal on Yeslik. And Senashira is going to heal up over time.
Certainly.
Alright, now let's buff Senashira up with shield. And we're ready to go. We're ready to descend to the next level. And we, of course, we're greeted by a little welcoming party here. I'm going to run with Senashira to disable these hobgoblin archers. And we'll just try to deal with these guards here.
What is it?
What are you need?
And we need to focus our attacks.
What you want?
I don't really like your positioning here, Imoen. And of course he goes after you. And there's like nowhere that you can go.
Your concern? You've a task?
My blade will cut you down, yep.
Alright.
Yes?
What's your health status? Alright, they're both badly injured.
What? Fine. My blade will cut you down to size.
I am here. You're certain.
Wow, Senashira is getting damaged pretty badly. Yeah, so Yeslik, NPC project, of course, this is all NPC project, their banters, their interjections and all that. It's pretty cool, you know, because of course he knows the place, so it's a nice thing that he
Yes?
tells us about it.
For the group.
He has obviously like an emotional stake in all this.
I am. It is done. Good as done. It is done.
Take Drizzt with both my arms tied behind my back.
No, die, scum. Is this a temple of Cyric now?
Yes,
I
sir.
think, or Yeslik is going to have something to say here. Yeah. Whoa there. What's wrong? So apparently they desecrated the shrine to Clan Gedin. Yeah, and now they're worshipping Cyric here. We'll make them pay for this blasphemy. This is so cool. Yeslik is just my man, dude. Dwarves in general are cool, and especially Yeslik. He's a cool dude. Right, we got some really nice potions here. I am going to start making use of these potions of invulnerability soon. And as much as I love this combat music, I am going to fix it with a quick save and a quick load.
Indeed.
We need to clear out quite a few of these rooms. There's quite a few guards around here, and before I engage into the major fight on this level, which is going to be another SCS high-level mage called Natasha, I really want to clear out these other guys from the adjacent rooms, because with the better calls for help from SCS, they can like start pouring in as you're fighting Natasha, and I just want to have no one disturb me, I guess,
Yeah, it is done.
when I fight her. And I would still like to do that fight in this episode, so I'm going to try to be pretty quick about all this. I think Daviorn is going to have to wait for the next episode. Alright, a few more rooms.
As you direct. I am he indeed.
What are you need? Clan Geddon's will, Clan Geddon's might.
Your concern.
Be with us.
Clangeddin's will be done.
To battle!
Love this guy.
You need Clan Geddon's will
I indeed.
be done.
Your
My
concern.
blade will cut you down to size.
Clan Geddon's might. Be with us.
Yes,
Yeah, plenty of these hobgoblin dudes.
Geddon's might. Be with us.
Great peril yields.
You're a queer fellow. This way.
I am here. In your certainly.
I can quickly loot some gold. I guess the shield scroll is decent enough to pick up. Anyway, I'm not gonna bother too much with looting them. Those are just normal hobgoblins.
Life is luck, be a lady.
Yes, certainly.
Like, those are the barracks, really. As you can see with the rooms of the soldiers. Nice potion.
For the group. I indeed. Is good as done.
Some more hobgobos.
Your concern?
Yes, wherever fate takes
Good
me.
as done. Yes?
Your life is mine.
Indeed.
What is your great peril yields great beauty.
I am here.
What you want? I'm gone.
Life is adventure. Great peril yields great beauty.
Come on, open that up.
Your it is done.
What's our time? Wow, not that good.
Yes?
Maybe we're going to have to do Natasha in the next episode, and in this one we're going to have to satisfy ourselves. That sounded weird. But we're going to have to be content, I guess, with fighting this ogre mage in this room, I guess. Maybe that's going to be the
Yes, as good as done.
fight here.
I
Oh,
certainly.
traffic jam. Anyway, Jaheira can go in. She has probably the best save versus spell. Actually, if we gave Yeslik this amulet, he would have a really good one. Let Yeslik proceed here first,
Your
and now
concern-
everyone else goes in. So yeah, this ogre mage here starts out invisible, and as you can see in this room there are plenty of corpses. Of probably like tortured slaves here. I love the reaction from Yeslik. Made a pain house out of my home. Die, you filth! Yeah, and we can of course say disgusting animal. Unlike the pathetic slaves that you've tortured, we can fight back. Take your best shot. Right, so I think
this way.
Imlan is going to stay outside, but
As good as done. Yes, it is done.
What are you need?
By your command, indeed.
oh wow, he attempted sleep because Yeslik actually has a level 4 in fighter. Normally he starts out probably with a hold person or a dire charm or something along those lines. But anyway, he's not too tough.
I am
The notable thing about him is that in the enhanced edition he drops this katana +1, and that's the most powerful katana that you can get in the enhanced edition.
your concern.
As I explained in my introductory episode, katanas usually suffer from that in Baldur's Gate 2, and they went with the same philosophy in Baldur's Gate 1, I guess,
I am
where katanas, because of their high base damage, they usually have one lower enchantment than other weapons.
I hate them
Now this guy actually can fool. If we say that we're here on special business from Baldur's Gate. Alright then, move along.
Your concern.
We're going to move along closer to you, and boom!
Yes, indeed.
That's what you get for working for the Iron Throne. Alright, so this main section
here.
kind of is cleared out. Sometimes when you start this fight here with Natasha, guys from, like, hobgoblins from here can, like, hear the fights, the battle sounds, I guess. I'm just going to teleport here to just clear out these rooms quickly. I guess they can hear the sounds of battle and whatnot, and they can just, like, start flooding in from
As you direct.
both sides of the corridor and kind of, like, interrupt
My blade will cut you
my
down
specific
to
tactic against Natasha.
Certainly.
What wherever fate takes me.
I am indeed.
Great
Your
peril
concern.
yields.
Certainly.
Alright, a scroll of Dispel Magic, which is not bad. Anyway, we got some potions. Got that scroll.
Yes.
And now let's just check out this armory. And I think in the next episode we're going to deal with Natasha.
I certainly.
In this armory there's a couple of things here, but there are two magical things. Here I think there's a shield. Yep. And in one of these armor stands there's a leather armor, studded leather. And there's also a... oh yeah, here it is. There's also plain plate armor, but I think I have way too many things now, and a lot of them are heavy things, and Kiranai is pretty much... like, she really can't carry anymore. And I'm kind of starting to run out of space, especially when it comes to carrying capacity too, not only inventory slots. Alright, so I think I'm going to end this episode here. And we're going to deal with Natasha, and then progress further down to Daviorn in the next episode. So next episode is going to have some epic fights, and hopefully it's going to conclude our adventure in the Cloakwood Mines and in the Cloakwood in general. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.